Darlene, and I'll be doing some readings for you guys tonight. Let's see if I can get that any straighter, maybe not. Okay, let me get myself pulled up over here and we will get to cooking. So, the time changed today. I wasn't ready. I knew it was sometimes this month, but anyway, my day's been kind of off in that way, but it's okay. I wish they would leave it alone, to be honest with you. I wish they would leave it alone. All right, let me get myself all set up here. Here we go. Here I am. There I am. Ta-da, ta-da. Okay. Why is that? Can you hear the echo? Why is that? Can you hear the echo? Why is that? Can you hear the echo? Why is that? There we go. Sorry, my keyboard's not working. I forget. I got to put new batteries in there. And then let me get this put here. There we go. Hey, Jill Balance, how are you tonight? You missed the last one. That was a long. Listen, that was. I broke a record. That one was ridiculous, like 5.5 hours long. I actually had to stop and have an intermission. That was crazy. Hey, Nick, how are you tonight? Let me pin this real quick before we get going here. Okay, I think that's pinned, right? Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. I feel kind of thrown together tonight. Again, the time difference. Just I wasn't thinking it was this weekend. I thought I had another week or so, and all's good, but just kind of threw me off. So, and all right, I have something I want to share tonight, but I wanted to wait till a few more people get on here. So, I didn't get the Scorpio readings done this week. I didn't get my members videos. I bought a house, y'all. Well, it's a townhome, and there's stuff that's going on, typical. My water wouldn't come on. Had to call a plumber, blah, blah, blah. Then the next day was the flooring guy who was supposed to be at a certain time. And you know how all that, it's just, nonstop. So, and tomorrow we're going to demo some cabinets. So it's kind of exciting, but boy, it's a lot. It's a lot. Nick, no, I'm not going to Ohio. I got too much on my plate right now to deal with. I've got to get this townhouse finished, and at least most of the things I'm going to do to it. I just can't get contractors to show up. They'll call and leave messages. They're just all too busy or too this or too that. I don't know. Maybe my project's not big enough. Who knows? Doesn't matter. But I did want to share, guys. I love these little guys, and I got some more. I pick away and get a little bit here and a little bit there when I can. Hey, Malek, how are you tonight? Oh, Captain Banana. I'm 74 years old. How about that? Everybody always wants to know my age. I don't know why that's so fascinating for people, but I'm still alive. I think so too, Geo Balance. I think it is. It's honestly, and even ones that have been highly recommended, and their friend, like the plumber, came in and said, "Oh, I got a buddy man, and I think he's between jobs. And you call him. I feel like well, I hadn't heard hide and hair from this man, so whatever." Hey, Adia, good evening. So anyway, so I could sit here and chat. Y'all know I can run my mouth a minute. So let me show you my new goodies. I got new goodies, y'all. I got new goodies. I'm so excited. So you know that I like to support the Otter Spirit. It's business, and they do these bracelets because they give, I think it's $1 per purchase. Every purchase you make, there's a certain amount that goes to promoting saving the sea otters. And they also promote local, darn if I can't remember. Do I have it here? Wait one second, because I know it was in this box. I got my box here. One second. Because I wanted to get it right. I love them to pieces. Here we go. So I don't tell you the wrong thing. The name of the website is otterspirit.com. And I like the products because they're genuine. They're not, you know, some of these you can't tell if that's colored glass or not, but they they tell you where they get it from. They're genuine gemstones. It doesn't talk about the other, some local marine life cause out where they are in California. I can't remember it, but they do support the sea otters. That's their main charity that they help support. So look at what I've got this time. This time I got, and I love their packaging too. They come in these cool boxes with their own little, wait a minute, I'll show you. And I'll get to doing readings in a minute. They come in these little, I mean, their packaging is just pretty awesome. These little bags, so you could keep your bracelets in these little bags if you wanted. And then they tell you all about it here. It's got on here. This one is Golden Tiger Eye. Can you see that pretty? So Tiger Eye is good for mental clarity and grounding, not to mention a little wealth. Yeah, and confidence. Now, I don't think I really need that part, but and then so I'm going to put this combo on tonight. Then I got, now this one is interesting. This is pyrite. Oops, I almost dropped it. And it's quite heavy. You know that's a real deal because, I mean, not too heavy. Not like heavy like you wouldn't want to wear it, but heavier than most of the gemstones. And I meant to look up to tell you where this came from, but I didn't. But this is also another one that's good for prosperity and increased vitality. It helps to cleanse the chakras, and it's good for self-healing. And I said prosperity too, didn't I? And then lastly, let me show you this one, my last I'll show you. Because I like this combination. I like the combination of these three that I'm showing you tonight. So this one is citrine, and everybody knows citrine is also good for prosperity, right? It's also good for protection and boosting your energy levels. So when I'm doing one of these readings, I need all that help I can get. Aren't those pretty? That's just a pretty combo. And they also come in the small beads. So if you don't like this size, and the next group I get, I'm going to get the smaller beads. But I don't know, I just thought that was a pretty combination. So here I go. I'm loving those. I just wanted to share. So you guys, if you are interested in getting any of those, their website and the discount code is in the description box. You can get 20% off if you use that description box code. So go get some and support the sea otters. We love that. Oh, I like how these feel. Oh yeah, those are good. Those are going to be my new goodies, my new go-tos. I can feel it. Now, what deck should we use to see what's coming toward us this week? Let me see. Thank you, Adia. Yeah, I just like how they're feeling. I haven't worn them. This is the first time I've actually worn them. I just got them yesterday, but I was so tickled. All right, gang. Let me get to working here. Let me get to working for my peeps. Oh, I just love them. Anyway, okay. So we want to know about love or general this week. Y'all let me know in the comments. You want me to do a general week ahead for love or just general energies this week? Sound off in the chat. Sound off. Oh, I can't believe I'm going to rip out of vanity with my son tomorrow. We're gonna get her done tomorrow. Is it weird that I'm excited about doing that? Oh, I always like doing those. Okay. Adia says love. Gio says love. Okay. All right. Love it is then. Is this the right deck for love? You know, I think it'll be just fine here. Okay. So what's coming toward my collective audience here in love this week that we need to know about? Orco, there's a comment that's pinned in the chat and also in the description box. So readings are $20 with Super Chat or $15 if you use PayPal, and the link is in the comment there. All right, let's see what's coming toward my collective in love this week. That one kind of wanted to come out. I'm going to look at it. Change. We like that, I think. Hey, Adia, guess whose SP showed up this week? Twice. Not physically, but wanted to. Mishy's here. Hey, Mishy girl. Mishy bear. Thank you for texting me. I was in La La Land with the time change. I'm just, yeah. I'm glad you texted me. I just wasn't, was, I guess, kind of in rhythm with the amount of sunlight, thinking, okay, I had whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Well, oh my, we have a King of Pentacles. Yes, please. Yes, please. Oh my, this is off to a rousing start. What else is coming, please? Ooh, Adia, mine is facing the consequences of life right now. Well, if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Is that? Now, I got half the deck here, but I'm taking it. Ooh, all right. Well, somebody's struggling internally here this week. Presumably, whoever's coming towards you. Oh, let's see. This is a whole saga here. Let me see. Somebody's coming toward you guys that's going to come in. I say he because it's a he on the card. Okay, there's no gender in tarot. So whoever this is coming towards you. Probably the person you're thinking about, guys. It's a king. That's the good news. Kings are better than pages or knights, if we can get them. But this is somebody I think that you don't really want to collaborate or have much to do with. I think you may have even put this person out in the cold, or they feel that way. Some kind, unless this is you, but no. I said, who's coming toward you? Now, this, let me see. Because we've got, I'm looking at the suit. Wands, Pentacles, Wands, another Wand. So there's not really a dominance here in terms of the suit. Guys, I do not have the Six of Cups, which talks about somebody from the past. But if somebody's feeling hurt about being abandoned, more than likely you've already had some kind of connection with them. Now, we're talking about love here, right? So this person's out in the cold. Something hasn't gone their way, or this could have to do with money. This is the Wheel of Fortune. It's in the reverse, and these two cards next to each other can talk about money. Things not, things not being good over here. They are hoping, okay, this is a very specific message, but this will resonate with somebody. They are hoping, whoever this is, that you're going to drop your guard. That you are going to drop your guard and maybe start something new with them. Beware. Because the devil is here. Beware. I think you feel this was a toxic relationship in the past, and this devil's in the upright. So he is still either dealing with something toxic, or you feel this would be toxic to get involved with this person, or there's an addiction of some kind involved. And you're saying, no thanks, that's not what I want for the rest of my whenever. Or again, this could be this person who has been dealing with something toxic. That could be reflected when these two cards come out next to each other, because this talks about a home and family situation, long-term happiness typically, but in the reverse, this has been toxic or is toxic. Now, for a few of you or somebody, this could involve a marriage, because the Justice card is in the reverse, or rather more accurately, a divorce. But for most of you, it's about an injustice. Something that's toxic, that has caused a lot of problems and unhappiness, has caused injustice, might be trying to sneak back in because they're tired of feeling like this. They're tired, they are having anxiety and stress in their life. And it's causing them to have this internal tower, which is angst, and like these two together is somebody's having a hard time of it. Now you could, this person could be someone that ghosted you or vice versa, that's coming back in wanting to reconcile with you. I mean, that's the surface story. This person could have, well, I don't usually use that word with this card, breadcrumbed you, but we'll say that. Somebody who didn't give equally to the relationship. Oh my goodness, that's a whole hot mess, isn't it? Now, let me look at this and see. And guys, for those of you coming in the chat, my apology. I'm not looking at that on purpose so I can stay with the energy of the reading. But hey, Derek, how are you? Good evening. So if I'm not speaking to you or greeting you, my apology. I'm trying to just focus on what I'm doing here. I mean, we've got a few major arcana here. Let's see. We've got 10 cards here plus the bottom. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. So half of those are major arcana. So somebody also may be getting some karma because of this. My sleeve keeps catching on my little mat here. Somebody could be getting some negative karma. That could be exactly what's going on over here. Now, I get the feeling that this person is coming in as the King of Pentacles. Doesn't mean he actually is. Just saying, beware. You might be acting like it. What is this person here? Let me get some. Hey, Nightwing, good evening. So, what else? Let me see. What do I want to clarify here? I want to. What do they want? I want to ask that. What do they want with my collective? What do they want? Because, I mean, again, that's a half a deck. Y'all got to make it a little bit more, less cards, excuse me, than that. So, what do they want with my collective? What are their intentions here? What do they want? Well, it's a secret. And we don't like that necessarily. What are their, let's see. What are they hiding? What that they don't, that they're changing, or that or there's been some kind of an ending. Hang on. What else? All right, one more. One more. I think my screen is doing that thing where it's not scrolling. There we go. All right, we're going to turn it over and see. Come on, guys. We don't have all night. What are their intentions? Good grief. I only take flyers, that's why. This is taking so long. All right, there's one. Let's see. For somebody out there, they're hiding that a relationship or a long-term relationship or marriage has ended. Or a third party of some kind, where they made a bad choice. And they made this choice because of money and stability. I'm just looking at the cards now here at the bottom. Yeah, somebody, and there's the Justice card in reverse again. Personal unhappiness. Yeah. Yep. Now, let me show you these. So the Moon, the Death card, and the Four of Wands in reverse. So for somebody here, what they're hiding is that there's been an ending to a relationship or a marriage or some kind of, home situation that represents home and happiness and family. Now, I ask what their intentions are. Someone get some more, but that's what that looks like. That's the story. And I think what they're trying to tell us, we'll get more cards, is that what they're hiding is there's been a change. So what does that have to do with their intentions? Okay, that's the story, but what do they want with my viewer? Hey, Jake, how are you? Just checking. I saw you said something about the mic, but it is on. I guess I missed some conversation there. What are their intentions with my viewers, though? What does this have to do with my viewers? What does this have to do with my view? Oh, well, okay. So they want to put down this burden, whatever the burden is. Yeah, there's been some kind of an argument or fight about a reconciliation or coming together, probably with like a third party, or if you're the third party, then, all that shuffling, those same cards came back. The Lovers in reverse talks about a bad choice that they made that had to do with home and family and stability. And now they're paying for it. That's the conflict. There's the Tower in the upright. Yep. So they're coming to you. Their intentions are to come to you and unburden themselves by sharing this with you, is what it looks like. Yeah, I will. Yeah, because they want to have a difficult conversation, very possibly about maybe why they didn't reconcile with you in the past or recent past, or maybe period. And maybe you got tired of waiting on them. But let me get a couple more cards here. Oh, when's Mike? Okay, I know, right? As soon as I came in, and it said they are hiding a marriage in the eye. Got you. Now I'm up to think I'm catching up here. It kind of does, doesn't it, Michelle? I actually was thinking that a minute ago as well. What else does this person want with my collective? Well, they're not being very forthcoming, I can tell you that. It's okay. I'll just sit here and shuffle all night. All right, we'll turn it over. I'm going to get another deck if you don't give me some cards here in a second. What else do they want? They want to put this burden down, clearly. All right, there we go. Hang on. Well, I saw that coming. Yeah, they want to put this burden, and I think the burden about what they're going through is what they're talking about. They want to come in and make you some kind of an offer and talk to you about, the Hermit talks about pulling away. So I think for somebody here, they might have ghosted you, and why they've been absent, they're going to tell you why they've been absent. Because frankly, they didn't want this conflict. They didn't want to fight about them. We've got, now that's the Seven of Wands and the Five of Wands in the reverse. And what they didn't, I'm sorry, future. I forget I talk in past terms sometimes. So their intention is to come in and shed light on why they were gone. In other words, look at these two. Like, yeah, I want to come and offer you something, but this hermit is holding the lantern up to this guy, like, well, what took you so long? You know, so I think this is saying they're kind of expecting some pushback from you, and they don't really want to deal with that about this new start. Now, you know, we got the Fool up here, and what's next to the Fool? Fool's back again. So it's like they don't want any conflict about this new beginning, or maybe why they haven't started something with you, maybe, or taking a leap with whom? Presumably, this representing my collective. This is the Empress, but in the reverse, this is a lack of expansion, a lack of nurturing. So this person, I think, is trying to come in and make nice with you, bottom line. Okay? Bottom line. But they don't, I get a sense here that they don't necessarily want to talk about the past. They don't want to be forthcoming with accountability here. So be mindful of that. That's what this feels like to me. Or maybe it was just difficult and they don't want to talk about it with the other situation. But if you're in a romantic relationship of any kind, I think you're entitled, especially if this person ghosted you. Again, a good number of major arcana here. Now, let me look at the bottom here. It's feeling all of that. And besides which, I will say this. I think this person has truly lost their confidence here, but this could be talking about you've lost yours. But I think that this feels like kind of I've been down and out, and then I've been kicked because of it. And that's how this person's feeling, like maybe they got their tail tucked between their legs, coming back a little bit here. I don't think it's intentional or manipulative. I just think I don't, it's almost like they're saying, I don't think I have another fight left in me. It's the energy I get from that. I don't think I do. Now, then we have the they're also thinking that you might have lost attraction for them. And that they're, well, no, I'm going to, hold on, what? Okay, I got, wait, what? Now that's up here. Okay. So I think they've been dealing with somebody who's represented by this Queen of Wands in the reverse. That feels like who they're probably ending this relationship with, or has ended, or who's been causing them this grief. And they're saying, I've learned my lesson, or I'm learning my lesson, and it's a hard one about this, that I need to be clear-headed. I need to make clear decisions. I need to put my mind over my heart, and that's what they've kind of been dealing with back here, and probably with you as well, because kind of where they are right now. Just feel like I said, this person's been down, and then maybe it got kicked a couple of times, but they're looking forward to resuming passion and having something new and feeling that happiness again after they've dealt with this. Remember, this Three of Pentacles in reverse was like the second card out. So whatever this thing is that they're getting away from, I think they're saying, yeah, I stood my ground. This card was in reverse now. They're telling the backstory basically here. And it just turned out it was a lost opportunity. So, right. Well, yeah. That they very likely might have decided to go, in other words, seek their own happiness in a selfish way, which eventually led to this Tower, and feeling bad and guilty about that. So, yeah, they could have juggled you, and they were too much in their pride and ego. And now here's the King of Pentacles. That was the first card out. Here he is. So he's just telling the backstory, I think, of what got him into this mess with you, collective. That's what it looks like. Oh my goodness. Well, okay, interesting. I'm going to put these back and ask advice for you good people. What advice do we have about how best to deal with this? And, if this is not your reading, it's not your reading. If you don't have somebody that you care about in a romantic sense that matches this, then it's just not your reading today. Good old devil. Well, come on. Now, let's ask. Does it, idea, yeah, resonates for me as well. I hate to say that, but it does. Thank you, Mish. That's so very kind. All right. So, oh, they're telling me to switch decks. So hang on a minute. I'm tempted to take that, but I'm not. Let me see. Okay. What is the advice for my collective on how to best deal with this when this person comes in? What is the advice? Well, Adia, I held my boundaries. That's all I can say. I held my boundaries. I was kind, but I held my boundaries. So, show me advice, please, for my collective. Huh. Don't have the conversation with this person unless you can tell that they have worked on healing themselves. In other words, you don't want to be a rebound. Okay? You don't want to be a rebound if they're coming in strictly for the passion. Know your self-worth, because she does. Queen of Pentacles definitely knows her self-worth. Hold back. This person may talk sweet and talk about the future and all that. But here's the devil in reverse. but I don't think they've been listening. Two things. I don't think they listen to their intuition, but don't you be that person. Don't you give in to the passion and not be listening to your intuition. Stand your ground, because you got the high ground, I feel, for most of you. Be sure that you are receiving as you are giving, equal give and take. Now that was in the upright. No, it wasn't in the reverse. If this person doesn't come correct and they're still toxic, or they haven't been released, this is saying in the reverse that somebody's being released from a toxic situation. But I'm hearing very loudly, be sure that what they're telling you is the truth, because words are cheap, as we know. You can be patient, to have patience in this situation, but be sure that you are standing your ground, being the authority, taking charge here. And I don't mean in a bossy way, but this emperor would have good boundaries, just like I was saying a while ago. But boundaries, you can do that in a loving way and still be in control. You're not trying to control other people. You're trying to control yourself and your own emotions, instead of just falling over and swooning over this person. Again, if you don't want to be a rebound. And that, if you have good boundaries and take charge of yourself, show self-control, then the good fortune will follow, as it were. All right. Okie dokie. Perfect. Well, I like that. I mean, I agree with it. Not that Spirit asked me, but all right, guys, that's the week ahead. So heads up. All right, let me see. What's going on over here in the comment, guys? What is going on? Jacob, it's so good to see you again, 2 weeks in a row. Reminds you of your ex. Yeah, I know, mine too. Okay, Geo balance, Misha's saying. Okay, 1 moment. Let me go over here and check. That is so weird that it's keeping that there. Okay, whatever. I don't know why it does that, but and then Mish. Now wait a minute, Mish, you just bought a reading last week. What's going on? Okay. So Geo, do you want to post your question here, or do you need to go see what it was in PayPal? And thank y'all very much. Y'all, I'm just digging these bracelets. Just really. This pyrite one has, I don't know, it almost, and I was trying to remember. Somebody Google it, because I can't right now. Is pyrite the one that comes from a meteor hitting the earth? It's like, because it feels like a cross between a stone and metal, not really like the crystal beads. Somebody Google that and let me know. I meant to do it before I came in here. What is Pyrite? Where does that come from? How is it made? What's it made from? Really? Shot out of the cannon. Wow. Okay. Okay, Gia, I'd appreciate that. Thank you. And I don't know if this helps or not. Maybe you can see a few of the cards anyway. Okay. Post your comment, Gio. I mean, your question. I'm awaiting. I'm hearing the teenagers. You've heard me talk about the teenagers. there's a park below my complex. Sits up on a hill, and at the bottom of the hill is a park, and it has a creek, and I don't know, kids hang out there sometimes, and I'm just hearing them rev their engines down there. I won't miss that. I won't miss that. Okay, Geo, I'm waiting for you to post your question. Okay. Yeah, it won't let you post, but you know, so many characters. So just type what you can, and then I'll wait for you to post the second part of it. I needed to wear red tonight. I needed a little charging. Oh my goodness. Y'all done anything interesting this week? I have a great client currently, and I would love to keep them for at least another 6 to 8 months. The current rate, but welcome new leads and opportunities. Okay. And Geo, that's a statement. So I presume there's a part 2 to that for the question. I'm waiting. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. That was part 2. Let me go back up here. I'm reading it again to be sure I have the focus correct so I know the question to ask. Well, that's really kind of two things. You want to, what I'm hearing is you want to know the outcome of what's going to happen with this client, right? That's question number one. But then the second one is you kind of want to know what's coming in with new projects and other things. So, which one of those is the priority here, Geo? I need you to kind of hone that a little bit for me. I will ask a yes or no about the current client. Is this current client going to stick with Geo for the long term? Is this client a little moody, kind of hard to deal with sometimes? Yeah, I'm not sure that client's going to stick with you for the long term. It doesn't look like it. And I think what's in front of you is you're kind of at a crossroads about making a decision, a choice about, we're talking about your career here, not love. You may feel like you have to make that choice, may involve doing what you love versus kind of feeding the bottom line, so to speak. So, but not so, but I think you will in the end find some way to feel victorious in that, but it's going to cause change and you're going to have to collaborate with new people. All right, now let me see what else. I will tell you this, and I know you've been here before, but secure income, remember, you create your own reality. So start declaring now that I am a magnet for abundance of all kinds. That's kind of my go-to. And get on a rampage about that. Start imagining what that looks like. Start imagining what your clients look like, your new clients, because there's no guarantee. I can do a reading for you and this energy could change tomorrow. I don't predict the future. I only can show you the trajectory you're currently on. And if you don't do anything differently, that's the result that you're likely to get. So I'm different in how I read than a lot of tarot readers are. Yes, law of attraction, exactly. All right, so the ultimate question here that I'm getting is, where do you need to look for your income? Is that kind of, I have to word the question correctly to get you the best reading I can get. So I think what I'll do here, okay, let me do it this way. I've got 2 decks, and I'm going to ask of this deck, what does it look like if you, what is the kind of near future, what does the future, potential future look like with your client that you have now? Let's look at that. Let's get 3 cards on that. Okay, good. Everything's good now, right? We've got the Magician there saying you've got whatever it takes. Okay. Yeah, strength. Well, that looks very good. What's the bottom? Yes. And then, I just get the feeling that this client of yours now that tends to be on the moody side. Almost like I get this energy of almost kind of high maintenance, dealing with their moods sometimes. Okay, so this is good. The potential, remember, this is a potential. Potential is good. Spirit's saying you've got the resources that you need for this to go. You know, just be strong, keep doing what you're doing. The Hierophant is in the upright. This talks about the traditions or institutions, or like the groove that you got going now supports that. And right now it's balanced. But underneath that, this is why I wanted to look, because I felt it earlier. What I said was, but in the future, it feels like it shifts. So there's something toxic that needs to be let go. And we're talking about future. In the future, there's something toxic that needs to or is let go of. And I think it has to do with somebody either being, I know this is not a love reading, but having to do with emotions or moodiness, or you know, could be even overindulging in drink or something. I'm not sure what that, there's a million different ways that story could play out. But then some things come to light, and what comes to light ends up not being in your best interest. Somebody here is feeling remorse and regret. Then there's this King of Pentacles in reverse, which talks about somebody who's not stable, doesn't have the money. And here's the betrayal and the ending. Somebody who's in and out. And then here's the other betrayal. So that's the energy that I was feeling earlier about the future, potential future of your existing client. So it's good now, but I worry that going forward, something is going to shift there. He's moody, but not with you. He's a male. Well, thank you for the apology, Gia. It's just, it's not, thank you, but it's just that I want to get the best reading for you, and I have to be clear about how I ask the question. So that's all. I just want to do the best I can for you. And look, I picked this deck up, and what's at the bottom of the deck? That was showing already. All right, let me go now. Now I'm going to ask about if you. How did we decide to ask that? If you look for new sources, if you decide to go in new directions and look for new sources, meaning however your business works, clients, whatever that looks like for you, what does the future look like here? Okay, Adia, thank you for saying good night, love. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad you popped in. Lovely to see you always. Take care of you. Take good care of you, Miss Adia. Oops. Okay. I just don't feel like that's part of the story. So hold on a minute. I didn't really have my question out. So let me start this again. What does the potential future look like for Geo with new clients, new accounts versus this person? A couple more, please. Okay. Give me a minute here, try to decipher this one. Gio, do you work with other people like in a company? Is there, because I'm trying to figure out what relevance this card has, and it could in a career reading represent where in a personal reading it would be family and all that. This could be your work family of essence or your company environment. But if it's not, it could be that I feel like it is. There's disappointment here. Again, this is just potential. So, right now I'm in the trenches with his staff on it every day. Okay. Gotcha. So I feel more like then, because this could be, remember how we asked the question, what does it look like potentially then if you do something different, like more clients, more, so that could in effect be what this is talking about, because this is the other side of the coin here. If you branch out and you do other things and you have more clients, there. Okay, I don't have the I don't have it yet. I don't have it yet. Let me just say it that way. there's a message that Spirit's trying to give me, and I don't have it yet, but I don't give up, so hang in here with me. I'm not getting what Spirit's trying to tell me. I mean, I see the cards, but there's something here that I'm not getting yet, so bear with me. And I have to get it or else. So, potential for disappointment. You're working hard, trying to perfect your craft in this scenario. But you're also afraid. There's some fear that's come alive here in this new situation about things that you can't see, and about possibly this dream not working out, or yeah, a loss of hope. That can also mean that, because it ends up not being stable. The money might not be as good. And you might lose your, this is your excitement about it, and feel like, well, I've got to make a choice, a different kind of choice. I mean, this is so generic. This could be true about anything, the way it's coming out, but let me see. Because I think what this is saying is, in this potential other scenario, it's looking like you had to kind of fight your way more, and you don't want to do that. It's like, I don't really want to compete with all those people. I kind of like my one client groove here, and I'd rather do that. And I feel kind of codependent on these people, where you might rather just pull away and kind of, are you a Scorpio, Geo? Because this is what we do. I just want to go in my hole and go up under my rock or in my cave and be alone and do my thing over there. So I think you might find yourself in the future feeling like, well, here I am. I mean, if you choose this, here I am, and I don't, my strategy either failed or I don't have one. Could be something to do with the internet, and communication might be affected. This is just, again, not making a whole lot of sense to me. So I tell you what I'm going to do. See, I'm kind of like a snapping turtle to my detriment. That's why I'll never get rich doing tarot, because it has to make sense to me before it can make sense to anybody else. So I'm not going to quit here. This makes sense to me. So we're going to ask again from a different deck. What the heck are you trying to tell me? Oh, wait, you commented here. Let me go back. Right now I'm in the trenches with this happening today. It's a family type atmosphere. Okay. Yes, fear. I'll get stuck and become an employee rather than stay a consultant, because he would keep me in that regards if he could. And you're an 11/11 Scorpio. That's right. Oh my God, yes. Birthday twins, I know. Is it? So it is making sense? Oh my God, thank you, because I'm lost, but thank you. But I'm still going to get some more cards over here. I really want to know what's the advice for you, because it seems like there's kind of a catch-22 here. Boy, that moon card is big tonight. That 5 of Wands again, too. Oh, this is a little of... You see what's really interesting in all of this? I have very few pentacles. Pentacles talks about, well, money, but earthly, tangible things. And over here, I mean, this is pretty impressive. I've got 3 major arcana. All three cards. I only asked for three. Three of them. All three of them are major arcana. That's impressive. And then at the bottom of the deck is the card. This is a pentacle card about working hard. Now, working hard and overcoming some kind of a toxic situation. Now, but I don't have pentacles over here in your new situation. What I have is somebody who's difficult to work with. I'll just put it that way, who's ego and pride and wants it his way, kind of in and out, not dependable. No, we're talking about this, the new potential situation of the future over on this other side here. Feeling like you're stuck, but this also means getting a new perspective. I need to figure this out. I need to think through this and get a new perspective. And you might feel a little stuck on memories of the past, like the situation that you're in. You might feel like, well, I should have stayed where I was. That kind of energy. Let me see, because I'm just not. Hang on. Don't give up on me, Geo. Hang in here with me, please. I think you might end up feeling controlled or by other people, or you will feel like you're not in control if you go this other route. And again, look at this. No pentacles. No pentacles. Again. That's not good. I mean, this is like you're thinking it to death. In the future, you feel like you're pushed to take action, but don't necessarily want to. I know this is about the future, but it feels like it's more about the past, the situation you're in now. This can be somebody, i.e. you, who feels like I just don't have control anymore. I've lost control. I can't think clearly. I can't see how to get past my nose. And this can also be you're dealing with someone who is like the Queen of Swords, or you become like this Queen of Swords in reverse. Any of those scenarios can be possible. And we don't like her in reverse. She's bitchy, frankly. Looking into the future, like I have to make a different choice. I need to choose this one over that one. I need to make a choice, do something else, because fortune is not serving me. Fortune is not working in my favor over here. And yet you feel like you want to go back. You don't want it. This is wanting to return to something that you walked away from. Waiting. I've been waiting. And again, we're talking about this future situation, waiting on a communication to come in, waiting on the world, waiting on things to turn around for me in a positive way, waiting on, yeah. And you've got two kings. I don't like this. We've got the Emperor inverse, King of Wands in reverse. And then here you are, King of Cups, because you're a Scorpio. I would think this is you. So in other words, you've got difficult people here at best that you might be surrounded with in the future. Because the Emperor could be just you, or it can also represent another person, like a boss, who's very controlling. The King of Wands would be somebody like that too, who's just really difficult to work with. And here you are, stuck in the middle of this. Can't see, anything, and your fears are building up, and I just feel like no matter what I do, I'm afraid to make a choice here, wanting to collaborate, wanting to work on things, wanting to come to some kind of agreement, and not having to fight about it anymore. And so Now, this is where it turns good, but I don't, yeah. This future situation, I need to find a different way to, okay. I'm talking out loud to myself here. So I'm not real happy with the way that looks for you. I could have gotten way worse cards, but I'm not happy about it. So there's no, wait. Oh, you're so sweet, Gio. I'll never leave you. You're doing amazing. Scorpios are a mystery. Well, ain't that the truth? Okay, so don't ever think you capitalize where I am now. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I keep circling back. It's like none of this over here really, it could be a lot worse, but at the same time, it's like, it's just kind of this meh. And then it got worse at the end. Whereas over here, even though we know the future might change, this might not have anything to do with you. It might have to do with the economy or, you know, something in this person's family. But right now, it's really good. And so I'm not sure, given these cards, that I would look for greener grass right now. You might have to down the road, but I feel like that's not. Let me look again. Yeah, I mean, either one. My God, we're going for a third deck. Give me some advice, some good tangible advice here for Geo that makes sense. What to do about income. Give me advice for Geo about future income, please. And thank you. I just said we haven't gotten any cards about Pentacles. Now, this is not good. That's not the cards you want about future income. Hang on. Let's see what else wants to come out of that. Unless this is a warning for you to get busy manifesting. Now, that could be because Spirit knows that I talk about that here. This could be saying if you don't get busy believing and putting out there and creating from your thoughts that you believe that you're a magnet for abundance, this could be what's in your future, the Five of Pentacles. That, because that wouldn't surprise me at all. That's what Spirit's trying to get me to say here. Because I asked for advice for you for future. And as advice, these people are walking barefoot in the cold snow. But not in this deck necessarily, but in other decks, this card, like, is it the Light Seer? There's a person sitting here and there's a key and a big door with a keyhole in it. And all the person has to do is pick the key up and go on, open the door and go in where it's warm. So because it's warm and cozy and there's people inside this church and there's food in there and everything that they would need. But for some reason, they're out here in the cold. Yeah, stressing about it. So I'm worried that you have some negative thinking process going on, and that's what Spirit's trying to get you to change here so that you don't end up like this. Thank you, Spirit. What did I just say? Thinking. That's one of the things this card represents. Thinking, communication. So, okay, here we go. There it is. I was just speaking of it. Thank you, Spirit. Finally, good Lord Almighty. It was painful for me. I care about y'all. You know, I'm just not here just reading cards. I care about my readings for people. So, in the future, or how to prevent a negative outcome where you don't want to be like this, be mindful of your thoughts. Be mindful of your thoughts And that's what will start you on this new path, the leap of faith to start you new in a new. This is the full first card of the tarot deck, leaping off that cliff into a new adventure, right? And I feel like, because this means maybe not putting the work in, I think it frankly means you won't have to work as hard. You know, if you listen to a lot of people who talk about manifestation, it's not about work. It's not about efforting. What's at the bottom of the deck? There's the Ten of Pentacles in the upright. Yes, please. Yes, please. So you may get offered something like a situation, because look, remember this card that came out up here for the when we were asking about some new circumstances for you? It's back here too. I feel like there's an offer's going to come in, or this may have already happened, but something's going to come to you, and you're going to feel like it, and it could be within this situation, it could feel disappointing. It's like he's focusing somewhere else other than this cup. He's kind of like saying, oh, I'm not interested right now. And that could be because you don't think it's a dependable offer. Like it's not consistent. You know, like if you work on commission or something, that's not a consistent income. I need to know I can pay my mortgage every month, right? But in actuality, it ends up being very stable, and the money ends up being good. Even though you may lose some passion for it. In other words, you know, you do any job for a long time, and it's like, just another day, just another day. But you may have a moment where you go back and have a rethink about this. This is future energy, if I didn't make that clear. And there's a part of you that might say, maybe I should have taken that cup. Maybe I should have taken that cup. And you kind of sit with that for a little while. And maybe if I'd only thought about that differently. But in the end, you're moving forward. You're determined to move forward and do things like you want to do them, like you're feeling it in a good way, and you have clarity about it. And I think that's it. There's a caution here is simply to be sure that your cup is full before you move forward. If your cup is full, and I talk about this here, I don't know if you've heard me or not, it doesn't matter if it's work or love or friendship or a family dynamic, whatever you're doing. If you are not looking outside of yourself for those things to make you happy, and you have filled your own cup first, then everything can turn out differently. So this feels like a caution to be sure that your cup is filled first before you engage with other people. And then that puts you in this position of strength with the King of Cups to make the strategy that you need to make going forward. So this is like, be mindful. The moment you start becoming aware of your thoughts more is when you start the new journey toward, I think, what you want. And this can, this over here, this other stuff that potentially might happen in the future is not relevant. It's just something that's floating around out there. You could stay in this energy for sure. You could stay right here in this energy where you are with your current client if you work on manifesting. If you work on manifesting in a positive way. So be mindful, Geo, about how you're thinking. because there's disappointments either way you go. That's what this is saying here. There's disappointment either way you go. It looks like you've got that in front of you to some extent, if I can say it. That's going to come across your path, regardless of which direction you go. Your job is to change how you think about it. So start today. Don't wait till these things happen. Start today with the language of, you know, I am abundance. I'm a magnet for abundance. I'm a magnet for all things positive. I'm a magnet for positive people and happy people and good experiences. And I'm a magnet for abundance of time and abundance of health and abundance of money and abundance of, you know, start really getting on those positive rampages. Because, you know, I think that's what, for sure, what Spirit is saying here. It's not about some magic outcome already being destined for you that's sitting there waiting and you just have to find your way to it. That's not how this works. You are the point of attraction for the things you want. But if you're sitting in this energy, you're going to get more of this disappointing energy. Remember, you're a magnet. So what are you a magnet for? So be mindful of your thoughts. Be the magician here. He has all the resources he needs. He has all the suits there represented. Yes. Keep strong. I'm reading this differently. Keep strong. Tame your inner. Another meaning of the Strength card is that you're dealing with or facing or working with or healing your inner, your shadow side. So be strong in that. Work on your shadow self. In other words, be mindful of where you need to heal and the things within yourself. And then that puts you here in this position of authority also. That's another way I can read that. So, whew, I worked up a sweat over that. Not literally, but that was hard, Gio. Okay, I'm just squinting here. Anonymously crone, and I put my glasses. Anonymously known rave girl. Whew, that was a mouthful. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, so Gio, I hope that helps. I'm sorry that was such a roundabout way to get there, but I got there in the end. So get busy. Get busy with those affirmations. Get busy visualizing how you want the future to be. And, you know, I know you mentioned this client's not always easy to deal with. Get busy visualizing this client being easy to deal with, too. Get busy working on your shadow side about how, in other words, he's just reflecting a part of you that you need to look at when he's difficult. That's what that is. That's what anything is. Every relationship is simply there to show us what we need to work on within ourselves. Just saying. So when he's difficult, ask yourself, what is that showing you about yourself that you, and then start working on that element. Are you feeling, for example, are you feeling inept in some way? Are you feeling not good enough? Are you feeling not smart enough? You know, what is the thing within you? And then start affirming that. I am smart. I am smarter than everybody I work with here on this team or this client or whatever that ends up being for you. So, that's what I have for you, Jill. I appreciate you being here. And thank you for being patient as I worked through that. That was a little bit tricky. I didn't get that to the end, but I got there. So, oh, thank you for saying that. I know you're being so grateful. I mean, so gracious. Thank you. I'm glad they're clear. Hallelujah, it's clear for somebody. This Mercury retrograde has hit me harder than it has in a while. Typically, I'm not such an airhead. Ooh, all right. Let me get all these cards. This is my last deck here. Get all these shuffled and put back. Then, Mishi Bear is next. And let me write down I'm going to call you Rave Girl because that's just easier. Okay. I'll come back to you, Rave Girl, and we'll address that. Okay, Misha Bear. So you're asking what you need to know about what, give me a general area of subject matter, or not. What deck for Misha Bear? Her favorite. Okay. What does Misha need to know? Maybe your team will show up. They are certainly vocal. All right. What does Misha need to know? Most need to know. What does Misha Bear most need to know? Okay. I will not speak on it yet. Do you feel like your faith is being tested right now? Or not right this hot minute, but maybe. I think that's what this feels like. You feel like you're out of control. You're losing passion about many things, I feel like. Things are out of control, or you feel like maybe you don't. Now, you apply this to where, you didn't tell me where this fits, but I think that this feels like a test of faith. And there's an odd energy around this little Page of Cups in reverse, almost like, oh, there's several things here with him. Like when pigs fly in the reverse, like I knew that wasn't going to happen. I knew I couldn't do that, or that wasn't going to materialize, or that wasn't going to manifest. It's almost, though, and a secondary energy, I feel like you, how do I put this in words? That your heart is not, it's not cold, but it's cool, like on purpose. Like you've reached a point, but not in a necessarily bad way, but like you've reached a point. It's kind of like you're steeling yourself, you're bracing or you have been doing this out of necessity, maybe. So many options in front of me. I could go on, I could go any which way, and it's not clear. Well, that's why I wanted to know, did you want to know about work, or love specific? That's why I asked, because this could be anything. And this could, so many options in front of you. I don't have the options card, but this could be that loss of passion. I'm afraid I'm going to miss an opportunity. I don't know which way to go, because I'm really not. I think you're just feeling like, yeah, this, so many options. I'm not sure which way to go. I'm out of control here. I don't feel like I have control of all these things, the sparks that are showing up or not showing up. You may even feel like somewhere along the line you got some bad advice, but I feel more likely, well, this also relates to the fact that you've ended your marriage now, and you're kind of dangling out here like a dangling participle. You better get that, Jack. So I don't think this means you're shut down, but it means more. Again, this is, when pigs fly. Where is it? When pigs fly. But it's in the reverse. And see how he's, because, in this deck, this deck well, the little rays are coming from his heart, like looking up, really wishing on something. And in the reverse, it's kind of like, meh. It's like, my heart's just not really in it like it was. Okay, Page of Swords, communication about a new beginning, something that you feel will be better suited and balanced and fair. Now, let me see what your questions were. Let me get my glasses back on too. And for any of you that are here and have not hit that like button, I'd be so grateful if you do that. Just a way to say thank you for me being here on a Sunday night with you doing readings. Okay, so let me back up here. Oh, I see now. You said maybe hear what's coming toward me. Yes, and then something else. I didn't see that. I'm used to the other shoe dropping. That's really kind of what that is for me. What that energy feels like to me. I suppose, where do I go or stay? Will I be asked to stay? It puts me in a dilemma. There have been constant disappointments. It's just like, how long can I keep going like this with all these responsibilities? Yeah, I can feel like it's just, I mean, in a love reading, this is a different kind of loss of passion. But in a general reading, it's just like you're kind of losing your passion for life because you don't have the energy to have passion. Your passion is getting a full meal in and getting a shower most days, right? It's like that. All right, let me come back here now that I've read your dealio there. Let's ask, should you go or should you stay? Should you, let's ask first, is it in Michelle's highest and best interest to stay in the current job she's in? We'll ask that first. Okay, put it back. This is saying yes because you got something new coming that I don't think you know about. Page of Swords, yes, you're going to hear about something. What are you going to hear about? That there's something new, some kind of a new opportunity that's going to feel much more fair to you. Judgment. But then I feel like, but then there's a lull. I mean, this just could be timing. Like then nothing happens for a little while. And then you start thinking, but how about, this is you where you are now. Is this the thing I want to do? Is this a good investment for me long term? And I think you're already in this tower energy. I think that's kind of what you're feeling right now. Should I stay here and keep this collaboration going? Because I don't know. You're kind of giving up hope and feeling like your heart's not in it anymore. That's for sure. All right. So that says you will get news of a new opportunity that's going to be fair. Let me go now. Let's ask the question, or what does it look like if she leaves and looks for something different? I got that whole situation, yeah, the main leader too. I would have to work closely with him if I moved up. Oh, that's right. I remember that whole, oh yeah, that's icky. The word that comes to mind. Yeah, that's Sticky, icky, uncomfortable, awkward. Yes. So how does it look potentially? Should she move on? Yes or no? Should she move on? What does that look like? To find a different job elsewhere. Not working with him. To stay there. Okay. Well, let's see. I don't know what I know. We got some interesting cards here. It does say change, but we all know that this can mean the end of disappointment. I like that. Manifesting something new. Yes, getting a new perspective. We like that. This does look better. I got to tell you, this looks better because the question is, did you learn your lesson? Whatever this lesson was, and I don't mean superficially. I mean the spiritual lesson that situation taught you. Because if you didn't, of course, you'll have to repeat it. But this is you. We like the Queen of Pentacles. It says she's stable. She can take care of herself. As long as she doesn't get stuck here, regretting, and because then you've got the sun coming out. So it's almost like same speech I gave before. Where's your mind right now? So this could be good. It could definitely be a change, but you have to end things before you can change. I mean, before you can move on to new things. And it can be an end to the disappointment for sure. And then you got creating magic there. So that could be very positive. But be sure you've learned gotten this new perspective. And I think that's really important here for you to achieve this balance, whichever way you go, but particularly if you go to something new. In other words, this is kind of the potential is there, a better potential is there, but you're going to go over there and create the same kind of thing. In other words, you've got to look deep within you. What is the wound that each situation, like where you are, without going into the story, but you shared the story with me. So what is that wound reflecting to you? You need to heal that before you go to anything new, or it's just going to show up again over there. So that's the thing to dig deep for. Now let me see what you said. And he's hard to read, but yeah. You're saying looking for another job would be my best interest. It does appear the cards think so. Now, I'm going to go one further for you because I do. But with that deck or this, okay. So what's the potential? And we'll try to make this quick because I know Rafe Girl is waiting. What's the potential future for Michelle if she stays where she is? Give me 3 cards, please, in her current job. Yeah, it seems like you are at a major crossroads. 3 cards, please. Okay, Judgment. Waking up. That's like a major life, an awakening, a major spiritual lesson. Well, we kind of already know that's what's been going on. Give me 2 more, please. But, maybe you can reconcile with this boss figure also. Things coming to light, future. I wish I had more pentacles because this is, you got the moon in reverse, Fears and secrets coming to light about a Page of Cups. Now, we're not going to name names about who this could be, but the Page of Cups in reverse can be somebody who's moody and who's even sometimes overindulgent, but either emotionally unavailable or too much emotions. So, what's here? Yeah, Page of Wands in reverse. So, lack of action, lack of curiosity. I think this is you saying, this is more your energy here. Can't seem to walk away, but then the past, disappointment, then the sun. See, I think this is, it's almost like it's saying, if you get yourself right, you can turn this around, because then I see positive cards. And so Page of Wands in reverse. But then I've got Eight of Cups here. Disappointment over past things that have happened here in this situation. This is the crux of it. Can you get past that? Can you get past, because it seems like you can't walk away from these old things back here, these old memories, the things, you know, the negative, the disappointments that have happened at this job over here. The question is, can you look past that toward this potential happiness? The sun is here. Potential, because if you can, then this is what happens. So you're going to have to shift this within you. It's not about them. This is all about what you're doing and what you're projecting, just like I was saying in the previous reading. Because the potential is there to go either direction. I mean, that's essentially what this is saying. Or can you focus on what makes you happy and focus on that, and then the good money can come in, right? Now, which of these? What does the potential future look like then if she changes jobs, goes for a new job? Well, isn't that the truth, Rave Girl? We need everybody's, you know, it doesn't matter how old you are, you got to keep learning. Give me two more, please, about what it would look like for the potential. Well, we'll take those. Amen, Jacob. The moment you think you know it all, you have failed. It's back to that. You don't know what you don't know. It's why it pays to be humble. Give me a second here. Well, this is really interesting. So over here, if you decide to go through to a new job, yeah, you start out being a bit impatient. I think that's just, oh, I'm impatient for this new beginning, and but here it comes, here it comes. But this can also mean imbalance. Remember, so what's your starting point? Back to that mind game and all that. You may be sometimes it's a case of the devil you know is better. You know that case. So you get excited about this passionate new beginning and you feel like you've won. You feel like, okay, I'm feeling victorious. I feel like I've won. This is a better situation for me until it's not. And I don't think the communication is flowing over here. And you're trying to listen to your intuition here, but there is, I think this is you extending yourself in the new situation. Okay. You're extending yourself, trying to keep everything nice and balanced over here in the new situation. And yet, things do not, or let's say that maybe they're not. I'm hearing they're not received as well as, or how you intended. And maybe you feel like you can't really make friends at this new situation, whatever this ends up being for you. And Spirit is saying, well, that could possibly happen because you didn't, change your mind about something, but, or you got stuck, or you weren't, or I guess this could be them too. Some situation that allows that, a refusal to surrender to a new perspective, and you feel a sense of betrayal here. And like you're the wounded warrior, we know what that means. And then, you get, I'm afraid to make another decision here because I've lost my confidence and now I'm not happy. And I'm really not happy. And this is just a heavy burden. And then the money's not good. So, and it's like, why did I take this leap of faith? Kind of wish I could go back to where I was. Interesting, because I've been waiting and waiting, and this is like, so this, I wish I had really clear cards that, if that Three of Swords hadn't come out, I would have told you to go for the new job, but no. That's, you're a card reader. What does that tell you? Ace followed by victory, followed by this. And then this. If you want to take a screenshot of that. So it might be a little bit of a false victory. You might feel good for a while, like a lot of things. So what does that tell us when that happens? That tells us that we are the source of whatever this occurrences that keeps happening. Now, this is not about blame for anybody who's listening. And I think Michelle for certain knows that. Let me see what she says over here. I got to scroll back here, but my kids need me and I can't overwork. Well, I know you have 4 boys to take care of by yourself. Leave my children to start a new school. I have to start a new. I know. My intuition tells me the school is in its own tyrant and going through change. Yes, indeed, it's a certain way. Yeah, it's something I can do. I'm not overwhelmed by the job. I'm overwhelmed by the environment and what I pick on and feel. Yes, I'm not appreciated. It's a death to the ego for sure. Laugh out. Yes, it appears amazing, but I will stay. Is that, you mean this over here? You mean this over here? Yeah, maybe. I mean, or they're just things that you can't see that are hidden until you get there. And then you find out nobody's talking to each other, nobody talks to you, there's no good communication, that could be. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. So I feel like the reason this is coming out the way it is it's just saying you can't run away from you. Sorry to say that, but I'm not sorry. I mean, that's just the truth. None of us, we can't run away from ourselves. So the issue that you just talked about here about not being appreciated is the very thing that you need to work on. And then it won't really matter where you go. It's not about where you go, although I know it's a practical decision and you need to be making that to take care of your kids. I'm not minimizing that. But if you get busy working on your affirmations and manifesting, it kind of feels like, back to that, the devil, and it wasn't lost on me. The Judgment card is a card of reconciliation. So maybe you really can reconcile with this boss in the end, and y'all might make nice. And who knows? Who knows how that could turn out? But it all comes from you and what you're manifesting and what you believe about yourself ultimately. So that's why this is, to me, such a big card here. This is causing you to awaken. This whole hot mess of where you've been and all that you've gone through over there at that job, it's caused you an awakening, an opportunity to awaken. And as hard as that is for any of us to live through, once you get to the point where you see your involvement in that, your participation in that, meaning you don't feel appreciated, then that's what you're excuse me, your issue is to work on. And I would be willing to bet you practice this, play with this. It's like it can become like a game. I don't mean that it's not serious in its own way. Spend an hour, meditate, and spend an hour envisioning the people at your work literally saying those words to you, and do the affirmations. Spend an hour, just an hour tonight. I am appreciated. I am adored. I am respected. I am revered. In fact, people come to me because they value my opinion and my expertise. And just keep saying, and you can use that, what I said in the previous reading too. I'm a magnet for blah, blah, blah. I'm a magnet for appreciation. I'm a magnet for respect. I'm a magnet for this or that. Just spend an hour doing that tonight, and I guarantee you, when you go to work tomorrow, if you do that, people will come and will just stop by. They'll be passing you in the hall. I just want to tell you how much I appreciate blah 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 about you. You'll see it showing up. Now when you start seeing it like that, that's when people get motivated to do more of it, because you start connecting the dots between how you're feeling and the work you're doing and what's showing up as a mirror in the outside world. So I really do feel an energy of reconciliation with this boss situation for the future here. I think that's possible. I just do. In whatever weirdness, now we're not talking about, we're talking about a business relationship, but I think there is, when you do this work, your work about being appreciated, I think that's going to shift that. Because when you start believing it, then your outside world starts bringing it to you. Does that make sense, Michelle? So either way, you can't, like I said at the beginning, you can't run from yourself. You can't run from yourself. Now, you had this on both sides. That's why I'm laughing. You can't run from yourself. Either way, you can't run from. I'm just laughing at how funny tarot is. But if I had to choose either one of these, I darn sure wouldn't choose this one. Just saying. So work on choosing, when we're miserable, we're choosing to be miserable. Now, I'm not saying that people don't do stupid stuff and we don't experience difficult things. That's not what I'm saying, of course. But you choose to stay there or not. You choose to, how long you wallow in it. I know I wallow. Sometimes I wallow a lot. So that part's the choice. So once you snap yourself out of that and you say, okay, that happened, past tense, let's get on with shifting this. So if it's not being appreciated, then start appreciating yourself. You have to do it first if you want to show up in your outside world. But I'm feeling like this is saying, if you want a new beginning, it doesn't matter physically where you are. It's got to start in here. I know I'm preaching. I'm in the pulpit. I got it. I know it's not exactly the reading I was hoping for you, but it is what it is. Golly, Michelle. Your team. Well, Jake. Yes. I hope that too. Well, I did see that. I've already shuffled them, put them back in here, but I did see there's something new coming. So I think they will. I think they will definitely offer you a position. But you need to start working on that now, please, so that you can manifest that and manifest, I have an abundance of opportunities. I have an abundance of job offers. I have an abundance of options to choose as I go forward. Start working on that too. Let that be part of your language internally. I have multiple opportunities to choose from for next year. Just remember, what you focus on, you're going to get more of. So if you're focusing on the worry and the lack, sadly, you're going to get more of that. Be confident. You know darn good and well you're an excellent teacher and you're overqualified for this job. Yes, I just want the change to stop. I just have some predictability. Well, amen to that. So part of predictability would be staying where you are, right? Even though it's uncomfortable, but that can shift. Again, that's something you can shift. I really think you can shift this. That's my sense. But you got to do the work. It's not about everybody else. It's only ever about you. It's only ever about you. Everybody hear that? Well, Misha, I hope that was helpful, love. And I just, I feel for you. But also know you can do it. It's just so difficult when you, and I'm saying this about me, even my own stuff. I preach it all day long, but I get in my own little, like I said, my own little mental trap of wallowing from time to time. Now, I can't imagine if I had a full-time job and four boys to take care of. I would never find time to think and work on that, probably. I mean, well, I guess I would, but you know what I'm saying? So I admire you for just keeping it together in any form or fashion, but I can't not tell you what I know, and that's why I have to give you that message. But anyway. Yes, your eyes are closing and you have to hit the hay. Well, sending you a big hug, friend. I am, and I want to think positively about you and getting multiple offers this year for next year. All right, Mishi, thank you, sweetheart. Take care. Tell your boys I said hello. Okay, Rave Girl is next, and hugs to you. Yes. Aw, Jake. Well, why in the world would you even say that? You're probably better at that than all of us. Well, as certainly as good, because I know you've been practicing that. It's like we just have to remind ourselves. Like we get busy with life and forget. I'm guilty of that. All right, Rave Girl. So let me see if I can go back up here. I know, and Adia, yes. Our blessed Adia. Let me go back and find your question here, Rave Girl. If I can, it won't let me go, but so far, here we go. I think negatively affecting life and succeeding. So you've got some negative people around you. What deck for Rave Girl tonight? Show me these people that are around Rave Girl. Let's see. What are their intentions? Show me these people. Show me the people that are around Rave Girl. Let's start with that. Show me these people. Who is surrounding? Who and what energy of these people is surrounding Rave Girl, please? Who's in her energy? Okay. Whew. Well, this to me reads more like people that have tried to deceive you in some way, and they're feeling bad about that. So I don't read that as jealousy. I read that as regret. They're feeling bad about that. There's a remorse and regret. These may have been, this could be one person or several people, so I'm not sure about that. But they could have been in a situation where they were afraid to make a choice in some way about something, or this could be they put you in that situation, but I think it was more them. Maybe they were stuck trying to make a choice for a long time of some kind and at a crossroads, and they couldn't make up their mind, afraid to make a choice. But if these are people, and let me explain to you, this is the Wounded Warrior card. So this is somebody that, or people, you would have had lots of opportunities to have a face-off or interaction with, because each one of these wands represents an opportunity or a battle, metaphorically speaking. So I think let's say it's one person, for example. It's somebody that you've been round and round with that ended up in betrayal. Now, let me see what's at the bottom of the deck here. This could have been somebody. Now, you didn't ask for a love reading, but this could have been somebody who told you, offered there to talk, wanted to. I'm so sorry, I'm having trouble making a sentence tonight. Could have wanted to come forth and talk about their feelings, saying, hey, maybe we can work this out, we can balance this situation. But there was too much overindulgence here in some form of fashion. And somebody here was not willing to give in or get a new perspective or surrender in some way. But what I don't have here, the way that you're wording this is, I don't have cards really that would talk about somebody doing something purposefully, like putting spells on you or that kind of thing. I don't talk about that here too much on my channel. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm saying it's just not part of my language typically. This is somebody who you have gone round and round with, and they feel bad about part of this, for sure. That to me is a little different than the way, I don't see that as jealousy really. Because that was your question. People are jealous. Are they intentionally negatively affecting my life and succeeding? And I'm going to say no, because nobody really does that. Like, let me rephrase that. Can people send us negative energy? Yes. Yes, they can. This is more an energy to me of somebody who might have had some kind of strategy towards you that didn't work out, and that could be that's what they're feeling bad about. But I just keep hearing, but you did this dance with this person or people a number of times. Now, they, if anything, are just feeling a bit of a victim. Maybe they're jealous, maybe not. But you know what? You do not have any control over how people feel about you if you're behaving correctly. If you're acting in an honorable way, then that's on them, right? Let me get a few more cards out for you here. Are they intentionally and negatively affecting my life and your ability to succeed? I think that's what you're so. There's a lack of, and I got that twice. There's something that needs to change here that has not changed yet, or resisted change, that's keeping, because this is kind of what you're asking about. I feel like you are feeling these people have put some kind of negative energy towards you, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm going to scroll down and catch up on the comments here in just a second, that you feel is responsible for holding you back. So that's what I think you're asking here. Now, I'm going to have to say, not at this moment, I don't feel that's the case. Now, I'm going to scroll down here and catch up with you. Let me see. Be sure you didn't say some things I've missed. Okay, I just don't know if it's one or someone. If it's one or someone else, it's either the name Nikita or Yuri, and you're saying yes. Okay, it's making sense. Yes. No, sorry, I don't mean to do that. Okay. Well, whoever this is, if it's one or two people, it doesn't really matter. The answer is, um, there. I said this earlier, and I'm gonna say it in a different reading. I don't think that they're taking credit. They're. I swear I'm gonna make a sentence in a minute, any minute now. Taking accountability. Both parties, you included, and these other people, need to take accountability for your part. So what I mean is, if you're acting honorably and you're putting out, and you're not holding a grudge and putting out negative energy toward them, then you don't have to worry about that. If they are, then that's on them. That's karma they're going to get, right? But there's this situation is telling me whoever this is not awakened. They're not spiritually woke. Can we say it like that? Yeah. Somebody here was cruel and cold. There was a disappointment. Somebody you're probably not talking to or weren't talking to, or wait a minute. You might not have been talking to, is what I'm trying to say. Let me get some more. But this Knight of Pentacles is in the upright and facing forward. Now, this just talks about slow forward movement, but it is forward movement. Now, I'm relating this to you and what you ask about being held back. Those cards want to come out. Okay, that's part of the story. Yeah, so there was some love lost, soulmate relationship. That could be a friend or family member or a lover. There was some kind of a communication then that either this could be predicting the future. This hasn't happened. About, I think it's about how hurt somebody was. But again, see, let me tell you a little something. Let me tell you a little something. I'm going to stop for a second. I don't really want to open up a huge can of worms, but I'm going to open up a baby can of worms. So when people talk about spells and energy and all that, and are they sending that at me? If you say something negative about anybody, that's sending a kind of negative energy. That's creating negative energy toward that person. Just a bad comment about them. But there's a sliding scale here about these kinds of things. That can, if you just utter words to somebody about something negative, I don't even like to say those words, but if you say, well, I wish so and so would have a flat tire, that's a little bit more of an escalation. If you're literally saying and verbalizing something bad to happen toward that person, that can actually become a kind of on the lower scale, but a curse. Okay, your words have power. So this could be something that happened here in this situation. But then you get up further on the scale where people are literally doing rituals and, burning things and all kinds of things to, doing incantations and all that. Now that's on the scale of magic, black or white, end of things. That is not happening here. I don't have any indication that's happening here. So for me, it's not a clear, I can't answer that yes or no in the sense of I have to explain to you when I'm saying that. I don't see anything like spell work or magic, but somebody here is clearly has had a hard time and they feel betrayed. So might they have said some words that sent some negative energy toward you? Yes. I do not have indicators here that anybody's trying to hold you back or that energy is powerful enough, number one, to have that effect in your life, which I think is the bottom line of what you're asking about. So my answer to that would be no. My squeaky stool. Let me get a couple more here. Whoops. All right. I'm running out of room. So there was or will be, I don't know which this is, communication, forward movement after a time of where you probably haven't been talking. But I'm not sure this person is healed, because there's still a lot of, or you, this could be you, but I think it's this person. But I feel like there's still a lot of fear and I want to say negativity hanging out there, but mostly fear. Fear that this might go on, that this might be something that you have to, deal with again, for starters. And it's a partly divine timing here. This is somebody who's deciding, do I want to continue investing in this for the long haul? So I think that if this, for example, were a friendship or a workmate, you would probably be making the decision, or being asked to make the decision of, do you want to continue to have anything to do with these people? Have you learned your lesson? Have they learned their lesson here? Have they been forthcoming about their feelings in this? Has anybody, because I think what's happening here is nobody's really been talking about the elephant in the room to try and work it out, so to speak. You're saying the dance is resonating. It's just that my intuition tells me they think I'm not behaving so correctly when I am, because they are less spiritual. Well, that's essentially exactly what I was saying here. They're not awakened. That's another way of saying spiritually mature. That's correct. I think you're right about that. And let me see what. Oh, here we go. And now. I might have to put my, that print is so small on the super chats. I can't know why they make it so much smaller. There we go. I don't want them if it's who I believe they are. We're on different levels, but it was a short time in my life and I progressed. Well, that's the beautiful way to go forward right there. That's the right mindset, because this looks like, just what you're saying. Don't bother with that. It would just end up in an argument or whatever. So difficult communication. Make a choice to go towards something new here. Just let the past be in the past, Rave Girl. By doing so, you're making a good and positive choice toward your happiness and something you're going to feel passionate about, right? So I think let this be. It's not our job or our right to change people and try to necessarily enlighten them. They either get it or they don't. They either want to try to make things right or they don't. But I don't see anything really, like I would be looking for the magician in reverse or the devil, and that's just not here. So I don't think there's any intention about that towards you. So let me see now, what were your other? Why does Nikita really love me but doesn't want a relationship? That sounds like probably an avoidant personality type right there. Because they're afraid to commit, because they're afraid they'll get hurt. That's the bottom line. But let me pull some cards. Let me see here. Let me pull some cards for you on that. And I did read that right, Nikita, yeah. Y'all, I got a few more weeks before I can get prescription glasses again, because I don't know if you know, I had eye surgery on my eye a few weeks ago, and so I'm so struggling. I can read it with half an eye, and I can't, so I'm tired of the drugstore glasses. I want some prescriptions. Got about 3 weeks to go. All right, let's ask, why does Nikita really love me but doesn't want a relationship? Well, let's ask, what is it this deck? Ooh, nope, I think it's this one, yeah. So what's the core issue here about why Nikita really loves you? What's the core issue here of this question? Why does Nikita really love you, but then doesn't want a relationship? What is the core issue here? What is the core issue? Why does Nikita love Brave Girl, but doesn't want a relationship? Because it looks like Nikita has not fully moved on from something from the past or from whatever. That could be anything from a previous relationship or some kind of negative patterning that was established in childhood. But he's not, I say he, I think it's a he, I don't know that. And it's keeping, let me know if it's a him, I keep saying him, keeping him imbalanced. And it's preventing him from finding this happiness. Now, the 10 of Cups represents family, happiness, commitment, you know, the kids, the dog, the picket fence. But it's something that he's holding on to. He hasn't been able to move past from, move on from. Yeah, it's a heavy burden. This could be a third-party situation that Nikita experienced. And it kind of warm. Hang on 1 second. Let me catch up here. Water course, believe me, I've been wearing bifocals for 20 whatever years, and I got the Invisalign, you know, I forget, progressive lenses, and they were fine. I loved them. Don't worry, it's going to be fine. You'll get used to them. That's not the same thing. Now, don't jump to that conclusion here, Rave Girl. That's not what I'm seeing. You asked the question. Remember, tarot is very literal. You didn't ask if he still loves her. You asked why he's not able to commit to you. And the reason is because he hasn't moved on for something that was difficult here. He still has difficult associations. Swords represent memories or thoughts or, you know, communication, but not in that case. It just means you can't move on to calmer waters is what that card real literally means. So that's, you know, you could not be in a relationship with somebody for a year and still think about them and have trouble fully moving on. We don't just leave one person, flip a switch, and go over here and never think about that person. That's just not human nature. It's still weighing on this person heavily. It's a heavy burden that they're having trouble putting in, tired and weighed down because he feels like it was a bad choice. He made a wrong decision and it caused him a lot of hurt and anxiety. The cards are backing me up here. So he doesn't trust himself to make a good decision going forward. That's kind of what this feels like to me. It's just, so I made a bad decision in the past. It didn't work out well, and I'm afraid to, I don't trust my own heart. I'm afraid that it's going to end badly again, and in betrayal, and maybe even somebody, you know, playing around. And so it's just, yeah. I'm afraid it was be a waste of my resources, meaning love, time, energy, and it would just end up being toxic. So it's his own internal fear is the core issue here of why. It says nothing about you here. It says him, to be clear. So you just, that's what it's, what the cards are saying. Well, you know, that's not the question we asked, but I I probably would have gotten different cards, and I don't know. We'd have to that would be a whole other reading. But let's stick with this because I want to ask. I can ask like what the interference was for you, not was for that. The interference, and I think we already know that's what that is. So let's ask this, what change or shift could you make going forward that could change this? Remember, tarot does not predict the future. It only tells you the trajectory you are on. Stop ruminating. Here's the change that you can make. Stop dwelling on the past. Let this go, this broken heart go. You're stuck in it a little bit, it feels like, even though this is in reverse. It does talk about healing from that. But coupled with the three of these, hang on a minute, I'm dropping the cards. Whoops. The change that needs to happen is somebody needs to continue to heal, not dwell on the broken heart from the past, not dwell in a negative way, like to obsession, thinking about the memories from the past, because it's causing them to be either overly emotional or not even emotionally available at all. Again, it's kind of telling the same story, which ends up meaning head over heart and not warm and fuzzy like you'd want to be in a relationship. Yeah, and I think this is talking about him because it's just meaning he's lost his confidence. Maybe you have too. Maybe this has caused you to lose your confidence. I'm going to put these back out. It's here. Let's see if it has anything else. Well, I think we've answered that. I will ask, but the interference looks like his own thinking. He can't think, he can't get out of the turmoil that's caused. But I will ask. Hold up, though. Yeah, somebody hanging on to the past. What is the interference specifically? I think that's already talked about it, but we'll ask. What is the interference here in this relationship with Rave Girl? Whoa, half the deck. Now, hang on. Because this came out sideways. It's pretty much the same thing we've been talking about. Someone who was stuck at a crossroads. Now, in this situation, a crossroads doesn't necessarily mean like two people or two things. It may be the crossroads, given these other cards, is I'm at a crossroads where I need to let this go and move myself mentally into calmer waters, or I can't commit to this person. I can't move forward. I can't be in a relationship with anybody because I'm not balanced. That thinking is preventing me from being balanced and finding my happiness with another person. So it's like I'm causing my own self to be stuck here at this crossroads. It's causing me to feel like, not only I'm abandoning myself in a way, but I'm in effect then abandoning, for example, leaving you out in the cold here potentially because I can't get past that energy. So there needs to be a discussion, communication. There needs to be a talk about this imbalance. That could help the situation. That could move it into some kind of more, a better place, potentially. But I'm not saying he's ready to do that, but I think I'll leave those out and ask. Let me see. Well, right, but again, you can't just flip a switch. It's just not what humans do. It's going to happen all in good time. And if you've been listening to me tonight, because you had to sit through a couple of these readings, you are a powerful creator. This isn't happening to you. It's happening because of you. It's happening for you. So all you have to do is change how you are thinking and feeling about it. You have to just start telling the story like you want it to be, Rave Girl. It's never about the other person. I just said this twice tonight. This is only a reflection of a wound within you that you need to heal, that you need to address. You clearly are feeling, and I'm going to make this up. You can decide what this is if it feels different. You're feeling abandoned. You're feeling I'm not chosen. You're feeling he's not willing to commit to me. All those things. I say abandonment here because that card came out. Or in some form or fashion, I'm not lovable, I'm not chosen. You fill in the words. And so that's what's manifesting outside of you. Relationships are just a mirror to show us what we need to work on within ourselves. So you do the work, you start affirming, I am lovable. Of course he chooses me. Of course he's healed and he's moved on from that, and now he's feeling balanced and everything is good and there's harmony and he's seeing the future with me. He's let me get over here. We're both healing this heartache from the past, and now we're focusing on good memories, only good memories. And now I'm feeling safe to open my heart again. I'm feeling like I can make a decision. I'm not feeling out in the cold. I'm feeling inclusive energy, not exclusive energy. I'm a magnet for his love. I'm a magnet for his affection. I'm a magnet for all kind of abundance in our relationship. I get an abundance of affection and attention from him. He can't wait to call me and text me. He can't wait to hear my voice. You see what I'm saying? You just get on this positive affirmation rampage, and you have to kind of talk yourself in the beginning, talk yourself into believing it maybe a little bit. But the more you do of that, the more you shift the energy inside of you. It's never about the other person. It's only about you. Doesn't matter what he's doing. You can change that. So you just have to be a match for the thing that you want. Not the thing is this ugly stuff that's happened over here. Doesn't matter what's happened. That's old news. You have to create space for the energy to come to you like you want it to be, which means you have to be a match for it. So if you're down here vibrating it, I'm not chosen, he won't commit to me, he doesn't want to be in a relationship with me, you're going to get more of that. Circumstances will just continue to affirm that. If you're up here saying, he can't wait to commit to me, I'm the person he wants to be with for the rest of my life, he sees a future with me, there's nothing but harmony and love between us, he respects me, he chooses me, all the things, that's the kind of relationship you're going to attract to you. So your homework is to do that. And I always like to suggest people go and listen to tons of videos here on YouTube by Abraham Hicks. And you can learn a lot about law of attraction there on her channel. Well, lots of people have content by her. Well, you're very welcome. Just, Do the work. Don't worry. Don't worry about what he's doing. It's not about that. You have to shift the energy within you first, and then the mirror out here will show up differently. Because that's all it is. Again, it's showing us, oh, by the way, you need to, it's like anything that triggers you or touches a pain point within you, that's saying, oh, that's a hurt I need to heal. I need to work on that. So name the thing whatever the thing is that you're feeling triggered about. I feel left out. I feel not chosen, or I'm making words up. You pick your own words. I feel abandoned. So then that tells you that's the issue you have to work on. I'm not abandoned. I'm chosen. I'm valued. I'm cherished. I'm all the things. Anyway, I think you get the gist here, but that's how you turn it around. So Abraham Hicks, go and do a little deep dive on her material, and I think you'll find that that's very helpful, and you can turn this around. But I don't think, I'm not getting the message here that it's about you at all. I'm getting the message that this is something within Nikita, wasn't that the name, that needs to shift. So yeah, because I didn't, yeah. Yep, that's what I got. Awesome. Well, honey, we always need a little, I need a little reminder. So yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Awesome. I love that. Yeah, do some things for yourself and a little Sunday reset. That's perfect. That is awesome. Yes, absolutely. A Sunday reset. I love that. Thank you, Rave Girl. I wish you good health also, and happiness, whatever that looks like to you. So my pleasure to read for you today. Thank you for being here, and thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. All right, let me put these cards back, and let's see. Thank you, Jake. Yeah, I just saw that. Thank you, thank you. Let me get these cards put back, and I'll go look at that real quick. Yes, I hope to see you again too, Rave Girl. Thank you. Okay. 1 minute here. Get on some eyes. Not. No, wait. There it is. Started to say I wasn't seeing it, but I do see it. Okay, Tina. Let me look here. Okay, what does Jay want me to know? He reconnected after years of no contact. Since then, he's been quiet while working on a movie overseas. What does Jay want you to know? All right. Got it. Let me see what deck for you. All righty, let's get this one out. All right, now, so what does Jay, wait a minute, let me write this down. Okay. All righty, here we go. Tina, what does Jay want Tina to know regarding their relationship? Because he's been too quiet. What does Jay want to say to Tina about their relationship? Okay. I think we already know this. The Fool, meaning taking a leap, starting something new, starting, you know, like you said, you haven't heard from him for years, and now he's interested in starting something up. So let's see what else. Okay. We know this. Tell us what we don't know. Tell us what we don't know. What would Jay like to? What? How? You know? What does he? What does he want with her? What does Jay want with Tina? Oh, that's half the deck. Too many, please. Let's try that again. What does Jay want with Tina? All right. Thank you for your patience as I shuffle. I do wait for flyers, and this particular deck is so beautiful, but it's slow to give me cards. So let's be patient. Was okay. Did you have a romantic relationship with him before? Is that what you're telling me, basically? Well, I don't like those two together. Yes, okay. Because this is saying I want to start, very simply, I want to start over because I feel bad about how things ended before. I feel this remorse and regret how they ended before. And frankly, I see that we could be happy here. So I'd like to have a victory by coming in again. Okay. There's hope here. I'd like to heal this. That's pretty straightforward. Let's see what else. So far I don't see any hidden agendas here or anything untoward. What else? What are his intentions? Okay, so that's, let's see, what are his intentions? Well, I know, right? Intentions are only good to a certain point. We need more. Yeah, I'm with you. Oh, that's how many? That's a lot of cards. Oh, okay. He does find you very attractive, though. Oh my, hold on. What do we got here? Holy cow. Holy moly. You. Well, why? You know, The secret. All right, let me lay this out here. I would be very confused too. I'm right there with you. I would be. He's trying to hold back. He's hiding. Let me just say it that way. The moon card. Talks about secrets and fears. And I'm gonna clarify this tower. I'm not sure what that means yet. Hold on. But the Page of Cups talks about, it's like a crush. Somebody coming and telling you how they feel about you and wanting to nurture this and expand the relationship in some form or fashion. This is all uber positive. A tower can be good. In other words, this could be saying him coming forward, telling you, he's got feelings, causes a tower. Yes. Or it could be the tower comes, he had a tower in his life. So hang on. What deck do I want to use to clarify with? Get over here. So show me what this Tower is, because, I mean, I don't usually get this many positive cards. A new beginning. This is a brand new beginning. Now, what I don't like is that we don't like, hold on. I'm not sure I want that. We'll just put that over there for now. What's this Tower, please? What is this Tower for Tina? Or, well, about this relationship with Jay. So his intentions is, can't make it up. The Tower and the Page of Cups. The Tower is clarified by the Page of Cups. So I think it's saying that this potentially, which I think is basically why you're getting a darn tarot reading. I don't understand. He comes in and connects with me. What does he want? Number one. Number two, this is causing me to have a Tower moment. I mean, yeah, with me too. Sat and seen this person for all those years. There's that remorse and regret. He sees you. This could be his feelings, but I think it, sees you as somebody who's open-hearted, willing to talk about and give your feelings. He's regretful that he didn't stick around and invest more time in that. Okay. This Tower is that he wants to come in and tell you that. Yeah. He wants to give you the dish, tell you about it, talk about how I made a choice. I made a choice and it didn't end well. Oh my God, this is awful. It didn't end well, any of those cards. Okay. Well, I got no bad cards here. I mean, a Tower in this case, I think is a good thing. The Tower is because somebody wants to come and tell you they got a crush on you, tell you about their feelings, open up. I'm afraid to pull more cards. It's like there's nothing bad here. But we'll ask. Anything else? Let's just ask. I think we know what this Moon is, but let's ask. What is this Moon? What is this hiding? It's risky. Yeah, he's afraid. He's afraid that, that you might reject him. Or that you might find him unattractive, or maybe a little bossy or needy, or I don't know. Queen of Wands in reverse. I'm sorry, let me show you the cards. The Moon is being clarified by the Fool in reverse and the Queen of Wands in reverse. Yeah, he's just afraid that you don't see. You remember we got the Ten of Cups up here? The Moon, clarifying the Moon, Ten of Cups in reverse. He's afraid that you don't, that the fear, because it talks about fears and secrets. He's afraid that you don't see him the same way. Anything else about this Moon? God. These cards won't go away. They've shown up 3 times. I regret that I didn't invest with you when I had the chance. Now, I don't know why you split up, but I got that. Didn't I have it over here in the bottom of the deck? Or not? It must have been the other reading. There could have been, maybe you split up because there was a third party. Third parties can be anything from somebody working too much, a job that carries them across the world, interfering family member, an illness, a dog, anything. Third parties don't necessarily mean romantic people, but what was I saying? That's what it looks like. There was it. Yes, a long-term commitment, but and there's that Queen of Cups keeps popping up too. Stand and fight for this. Okay. I want to ask what is this Empress? Why is she here? I think it's obvious, but you never know. Why is the Empress here? That didn't flip out, but it was turned over. Noted. Why is the Empress here? You're confirming, yes, it was his job, and then you got involved in another relationship. Okay. Well, tarot's a magic tool. And as she says, tarot is a magic tool. The Empress is clarified by the Empress. Can't make it up. I mean, if you tried, you could not make it up. He wants things to be fertile. And I don't mean that in a have babies kind of way, but maybe, I don't know. But she represents things that are fertile and nurturing and creativity and expansion, all those things. And if you didn't hear me the first time, I meant it, says Spirit. I know. Isn't that hysterical? Oh, goodness. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's right. That's what happened. Yep. Because the truth came out about a third-party situation, and somebody got left out in the cold here, and could have been, so there was not an equal give and take, and then this represents marriages or a long-time commitment in reverse. So yeah, we know. So this is just, apparently he wants a do-over. Tina wants another chance. I see, again, I see nothing untoward here. Except that one, which I don't know what that means, but that didn't fall out. Yeah, it just keeps going. I don't, that that's what I got. I love that. The Empress is clarified by the Empress. Of course it is. Oh, all right. Honey, I think this is just as simple as it gets. This person feels like, he wants another chance. He wants a do-over. Plain and simple. Now, as to why he's not contacting you, let's see if we can pull a card or two in that. So why is he, I'll tell you what my intuition says. He's afraid he doesn't want to come in too strong. He's afraid he's going to scare you away is what my intuition is telling me. But we'll ask tarot. Why? That helps to give you reassurance. So time and patience. Yes, I would say so. But why has he not contacted you? Why has he not contacted you? Let's ask. Whoop, that popped over. Strategy. Yes. He doesn't want you to think he's, he doesn't want to push you away. That's what it feels like. Strategy. Yeah. Yeah. This card can mean deception. Yes, it does. But but it can also mean strategy. Why? He doesn't want to get disappointed if you reject him, and he doesn't want to push you away if he comes in too strong, because he's afraid you'll see him as somebody who's just in it to win it, in it to win it. And that he might have a little too much ego and pride. He remembers the goods, though, if you can get my drift. This is the number one phallic system of the tarot, and I've got it twice here in your underneath the deck. So, and this talks about coming back. I can't leave. I can't walk away from this. So he remembers that. I'm just a little footnote. He remembers that fondly. Okay. Anything else? Yeah, he's also wrapping up. One of the reasons is just more practical. He's dealing with some difficult thought I was going to start coughing there. I think also at his job, he's dealing with some very difficult people right now, which he'll probably tell you about when you talk. But these are people who are very self-serving, and he's worn out. He's worn out. He wants to put an end to that, and he's worn out. He's kind of like giving up hope that just whatever he's dealing with over there will change. He may, in fact, have been experiencing this deception or whatever. In other words, he might have a situation going on. We ask, why isn't he contacting you? So I think there's two levels of energy here. The one I already expressed to you, and I think he is personally dealing with, I hope this is not him, but pray not, that he is personally dealing with some kind of a deception that has caused a lot of disappointment, and it has to do with ego and pride and people winning at all costs. And he's just kind of given up hope. He's really, it's a heavy burden, and he wants it to end. He wants it to be over because there's just so much conflict here. So I think, he's got a full plate. Can we say it like that? Okay. Tina, that's what I got. That is what I've got for you tonight. And you said, yes, that makes sense. I got that impression. Yeah, I think he's just probably not, again, he's just dealing with it best he can. We all deal with our stuff. And I don't think he wants to. Like when he's trying to reconnect with you, he doesn't want to come across talking about how bad that situation is, whining, and talking about all that hot mess, because that doesn't make a very nice impression if you're trying to reconnect with somebody necessarily. So I think he's deciding, I'd rather be quiet until this settles down than engage and talk about all that. So that's kind of the feeling I'm getting from him about that. All right, Miss Tina, I hope that was helpful. I think you got a really lovely thing going on here. If you want it, the potential is there if you want it. It is. And I think this tower is for you. You're like, what the, well, it's actually both of you, but yep. So just if you don't, you heard me the last reading, don't second guess, don't try to make it a big thing when it's not potentially a big thing. About why hasn't he called me, and you know how we get, our mind goes crazy. It's called the monkey mind, and we start thinking all those ugly thoughts about ourselves when that has nothing to do with why he hasn't called. So don't go there. Just remind yourself that you're beautiful and you're this, and and all the things. You can rewind and replay that part that I said to Rave Girl. It does make sense. You are oh, that's so sweet. Thank you. You are so very welcome. It's my pleasure. Thank you for being here. Thank you for buying a reading tonight. You guys are why I'm here. Why else would I be here, right? But thank you. And I'm telling you, I am happy because I get to do a good positive reading for a change. I don't get those that often, to be honest with you, Tina. That's a nice refreshing change for me to do one like that. So thank you. Little change of energy for me there. Okay, guys and girls, I think that was the last one. I'm asking my moderator. I think Jacob's still here. Am I caught up? Guys, I think I am. I think I am. Put that back. So last call for a reading, paid readings. I thought so. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate it. Ooh, I think I'm going to call it a night, guys. This has been a busy week. And I need some energy. I'm going to be ripping out a bathroom cabinet tomorrow. So I need some energy in the mornings. I think I'm going to call it a night then, Jake. Thank you so much, Mr. Jacob, for being here and moderating, and to all my other moderators that were here. And I guess they've gone. I know Mish and Adia went. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate y'all so much. Remember, there's a discount code if you guys want to get one of these otter bracelets. They're wonderful. And I'll see you guys sometime this next week. I'm going to try to catch up on some of my readings if I can, but it might be a little touch and go till I get some of the major stuff in this house done, but we'll see. All right, guys. Love y'all. Wishing everybody many blessings. Take care.